Our next guest is today receiving the Insurance Executive of the Year Award from the St. John's School of Risk Management, Insurance and Actuarial Science. So he's here to tell us his thoughts on the state of the insurance industry. And that, of course, is Lloyd's of London Chief Peter Levene. Thank you so much for coming in, Mr. Chairman, and sharing your insights with us. Interesting that you're receiving this award tonight here in New York, a state whose governor says they want to create a market to compete with yours back in the UK.
Well, they had a market here some years ago, which didn't go very far, but we've been talking to the governor, we've talked to the insurance superintendent, and we've said that if they are going to do something here, then we would like to be part of it. And we get on very well, we know each other well, and we said if we can help with it, we can take part, we'll be very pleased to do so. You know, the insurance industry worldwide is a huge business. The largest part of our business worldwide, nearly 45%, is here in the United States, and a lot of it in New York. So if there is going to be something here, why wouldn't we take a part of it?
All right, for our viewers and for our listeners, what we're talking about here is New York Governor David Paterson's announcement suggesting that he's going to try to get a piece of the business, the insurance market, and say may bring an additional $7 to $10 billion into this city. So you don't see this as a threat?
Well, we're a worldwide business, and we operate all over the world, as I say, particularly in the United States. And if part of it, they want to have a market here, then we will see that we're involved as we are everywhere else. But I don't see it as great competition. We compete, we collaborate with people in this country and every other country in the world.
Interesting to see you make an expansion into the emerging markets right now. I see the Middle East highlighted as a growth area for you. I'm headed to Saudi Arabia this week. Tell me, what areas are you most interested in there?
Well, I think we're looking more in the Far East, in Asia. We have talked about the Middle East, and of course with what's happened in Dubai recently.
Does that make you more hesitant with that expansion? Well,
it's not only that. The thing is that in the Middle East and in the Islamic countries, insurance is a very unusual phenomenon. And it goes against the grain of what they've done previously, in the same way that you have Islamic banking. They're now talking about having Islamic insurance. If they are going to expand in that way in the Middle East, then again we would want to be part of it. But to the extent that we do get business in that region, it comes to us generally into London. So if we can see there's a way of expanding our business by opening up locally, then we will want to do so. We have talked to them about it, but as I say, in the last few months, that's gone rather on hold because of the difficulties they've been having there. But maybe it'll pick up now.
If you were to see any kind of stabilization in the debt markets there in Dubai, would you consider getting into a new line of business, an Islamically compliant line of business there within the next year?
Well, we are actually, the Islamic insurance is called takaful. And we already do some of that in other parts of the world. It's relatively small at the moment, but as I say, in most cases that comes to us directly into London. But if we can do it locally, and if in Dubai or in Qatar or in Bahrain or in Saudi Arabia that builds up, then again we would want to be there. But at the moment I don't think we're missing out, but we're keeping a very careful eye on it.
But you have applied for an insurance license in China.
Oh no, we've done more than that. We applied for the license. It was granted to us 3 years ago. We're now operating in China. We have our own reinsurance business in Shanghai, and it's developing very well. And China is definitely going to be a very large market for the future.
There's some concern there about that economy that has been credited with holding the world economy out of recession, potentially overheating there. But there's still tremendous opportunity within the consumer marketplace there as businesses also continue to grow in China. What excites you about that market?
Well, I also sit quite independently on the board of the #2 bank in China, the China Construction Bank, and I was there for a board meeting just 3 weeks ago. And I think for those people who go to China and see what's happening there, as opposed to those who sit in a desk in some other part of the world, if I may say so, and talk about it. When
Jim
you go
Chanos
there,
notably having published that piece. Did you read that?
I did.
Do you disagree? You disagree with the skepticism?
I disagree. I mean, I think when you go there and you realize this is a country of 1.3 billion people, where an increasing number of many hundreds of millions are starting to attain a standard of living which is similar to that in the West, then the domestic market is huge and their aspirations are huge. And I think that anybody who discounts it and says, well, it's not going anywhere, it's going to be a bubble, I just don't agree with that, because you don't have a bubble in markets of that size. And I think
you don't believe that there are asset bubbles there now?
Well, there may be, but I mean, it's such a big place. It's such a big place that there are huge opportunities there as well, which are very successful and which are going to be the market of the future. And, you know, their growth rate, they were very worried about it at the end of 2008 when they saw it collapsing, down from 8%, and yet at the end of 2009 it was up to 8% again. And this year they're saying they see that again, if not even more. Now, that's not something which any of the Western economies can lay claim to getting anywhere near to that figure at the present time. So I would find that anybody who wants to discount China as being not worth chasing, I would certainly disagree with them.
Say buy plane ticket is your advice.
Buy plane ticket, exactly.
All right, thank you so much, Peter Levene, Lloyd's of London, for joining us. Congratulations on your award today.